Hi everyone, it's Margaret from Bliss Farm. Tonight I want to show you my planner. Now I love Erin Condren. That would be my go-to planner in a half a second. Maybe not even a half a second. Wouldn't even take me that long if I could afford it. I had one last year. I believe it went from, I had gotten it late in 2012 and it went through to like August or September of 2013. And when that ran out, I was sad. Very sad. I am not the type of person that can go without a planner. I write, besides having a planner, I always write separate lists. I have sticky notes, you know, all the time. I'm just very organized and, you know, can't be without any of that stuff. But I did go all of, I believe last September through the 1st of January with no planner because I held out to get an Erin Condren. Once January hit, I realized that wasn't going to happen, and I knew I had to do something. And I really thought about it, and yes, I could have gone and gotten maybe, you know, a $5 to $15 planner at, say, an office supply store or Walmart or Target. I could have downloaded, you know, and paid for one of the ones. There's several talented people out there that have been making up, you know, designing planners and selling them on their blogs or online. But there was, and I looked at all of them. I just couldn't find one that was really what I wanted, 100%. And they were all going to cost more than I wanted to spend. So I decided to make up my own planner. Now the only costs that I had were the cost of paper and ink. And at the time I had plenty of ink and I had plenty of paper in the house. So, you know, it would have been like if I had been just using it for anything else. It's not like I used it up or had to make any purchases. I had all the supplies that I'm going to show you, like I said, already in the house. So what I did was I wanted a pretty cover and back cover. And what I decided to do was take my Erin Condren apart and use it for my front cover and my back cover. Now, I made two big mistakes with this planner. And the first one, if you're looking at this and you know about Erin Condren, you're gonna see it. I took off the Erin Condren and glued it on the construction paper just so it wouldn't fall, you know, I didn't want the cover to like fall to the bottom of the sheet protector and be all loose in there. So, but I cut off the edges, the binding edges of the covers. So that means that I've rendered it useless if I ever get a chance to buy another Erin Condren. I can't switch out the covers. That was one big mistake. So anyway, what I did was I made those for the cover. Now I decided to just go ahead and use the, I think these are called jump rings, I think. But I use these, and yes, I could have used a note or a binder, but not all binders lay nice and flat, and you can't go like this with a binder. And I wanted to be able to do that. So I decided against the binder route, and I went with the rings. Now, this leads me to my second mistake. What I should have done, not with the sheet protector pages, but with these pages. I don't know what I have on here, so let me flip to Hold on one second here. Let me flip to the current month here, and I'll show you with that. Here. Here's this week. I haven't even done my planning for this week yet. Okay, here. I should have put the reinforcement things on here, on the pages. I should have just made that one little investment. I don't think they're very expensive, and for someone who is kind of hard on their planner, and I am rough on my planner, it would have been ideal to have some reinforcement because several of the pages have gotten ripped. But I just have a chunky, nice big paper clip to hold them all together, and it's worked out fine. And if I, need to go back and reference something, I can just take this off and go to where I need to go. So it's workable. But those were the two big problems that I had with this. Was the reinforcement for these and the Erin Condren cover cutting off the edges. I'm kicking myself still for that one. Now what I did was, and you can do this any way that it works for you. Yes, you do want a, you probably do want a full view of the month. So you want to print that out. And you can go online and get for free to print out a lot of planner printables or calendars if you want to just design your own weekly pages. You can put this together any way you want. Now how I did it is I have the month at a glance, okay, the full month, and then I printed out 5 weekly sheets for each month, and I did them different. I have 5 different planning sheets. Now you're probably going to wonder why I did 5 different sheets. Well, I wasn't sure how I was going to I didn't have one that really screamed out to me, I want to use that one. I'm really picky with the way I do things, and I just wasn't sure, there wasn't one that I thought for sure that I'd want to use consistently. So I figured that I would use different ones for each week to get a feel for them, and that way this year if I decide to do this again, I'll know better which one I would like to keep as, to do for every week, if that makes sense. But I'll show you which ones I have. This is one I have, and this is from cleanmama.net or .com, I'm not sure. I will link below all the websites that I have gotten free printables from before. And like I said, if you don't find any on those, just Google free planner printables and you will come up with a ton of different resources to use. So here's one. And then I have this one that I used. And then there's this one. This one. This one is from moneysavingmom.com. This one is also from moneysavingmom.com. I didn't like this one very much. I think just because I could have done without this and just had more room to write myself. And then I tried this for the weekends only because Yeah, I just thought I'd try it. But for the most part, I'm not sure. I think I used this once in one of the months. And then I also just had like a list form, things to do. Those are the sheets that I put in for each month. And then I'm on to the next full calendar view for that month. Now, what I also put in here, I will show you. In the front, I put in my, I wrote out all of my resolutions for the year and goals for the, well, I don't like the word resolutions. I like to call them goals. Everything that I'd like to accomplish throughout the year or shoot for. And I put those in plastic sleeves and put those in the front. And then I started with my January and, you know, month at a glance. And then I put in my 5 sheets for the weeks. And so on and so forth through the year. Now then in the back, I have, these are from Clean Mama. Okay, it's her Etsy shop, and I'll link that below. These organizing project planners. I really like these. For any of my projects, I can write the project and, you know, what I might need to shop for to complete it, or steps. And I printed out a bunch of these because I really like them. Even if I went back to the Erin Condren, I would still use these separately for projects. And then I also have, let me get a blank page here. I also have notes, and this was just for you know, separate lists. I also like doing a budget each month, so I would do these on this also. So I printed out a bunch of these, and I got this from My Joy Filled Life. I believe she's a homeschool blog, if I remember correctly. So I got that. Now, then I put in some miscellaneous. Now I had an old like journal type calendar, and I had ripped these out of that a long time ago, and I figured that I would just put like birth date reminders and things like that. I ended up not using them because I would put it on the month at a glance page, and just really didn't have a need for these. And then I have another sleeve protector with all of my stickers that I like to use for the calendar. And then this I got from a homeschool site, and this is all the legal holidays for 2014 through 2018. So that's a nice reference page. And then I took out, this is also from my Erin Condren. I took this out to have a pocket for just extra miscellaneous things that I would want to keep. And that's come in handy. That's pretty full. And then that is, I believe, my back cover. So, this was pretty easy to put together. Like I said, you wouldn't have to do the way I did it. You could also cut it down and just, you know, if you wanted to make a more personal size, you wouldn't, I don't know if they sell sheet protectors that are that small or smaller, but you know, you customize it to yourself. And that's why I went this route instead of going and buying, you know, a planner at the store. I figured I could just, for a very minimal amount of money, put one together that I could really, that was more personalized to me. So, yeah, that's it. I hope that you enjoyed this video and maybe it gave you some inspiration for your own planner. You know, I hate being on a budget. Really sucks sometimes. Well, not sometimes, all the time. But don't let it get you down, because you really can find a way. If there, you know, where there's a will, there's a way. That's one of my go-to sayings. You don't have to sacrifice not having something. You just need to use some creativity and be innovative and, you know, figure it out, because you can come up with something that's going to be low cost and usable for you. You don't have to sacrifice too much, or not as much as you might think. So if you have any questions, please leave them below.